Hey, welcome back again. Today I have a Beretta Tomcat. This is a 22 cal long rifle. This is the second weapon I ever bought. This was purchased in 19, God, I don't even want to admit it. This was purchased in 1999. Yeah, so it was purchased a while ago. And the kicker is I purchased this gun from a gun shop in Lowell, Massachusetts, where I was currently living. And this gun is now illegal to own in Massachusetts. So, yeah, let that rattle around in your head. Yeah, so I bought it in Mass, and now it would be illegal for me to own it in Mass. Cool, there's a lot of cool things. I always say cool thing about this gun, but there's a cool thing about all the guns I love. This was $100. So this was $100 at the gun store. You can see it's been worn because I carried this bad boy in my pocket for a million years. It was, like, for me, the coolest thing since sliced bread. I fired this gun a shitload of times. Oh, excuse me for swearing. I fired this gun a lot. So let me tell you about some pitfalls of this weapon. This weapon will not cycle with your standard federal ammunition. You're gonna need to fire the CCI stingers. So if you can't get your hands on CCI stingers or an ammo that's got a little bit more punch than the federal kind of Walmart stuff that you're gonna come across, it's not gonna cycle. But when you do put in those CCI stingers, this thing spits, and it holds 8, so you can do 8 and 1 on the snout, and it absolutely spits. It is a fun little gun to shoot. Just to give you a perspective here, I'm gonna put the thing in my hand. It is tiny. It is like the first of those micro pocket pistols. An absolute gem of a gun. It's in pretty decent. It's a hammer fired weapon. Let me just make sure she's empty before I stick my hands in front of the barrel. Yeah, and if you've seen that, that's pretty cool, right? That's a tip up barrel. So the way you open the barrel is my little thumb ski is gonna push that lever. Barrel comes flying up. If you got a round in there, I think it sends the round flying. Nope, it's a little rusty. So tip up barrel, so it's empty. You can see right down there, good to go. So now I'm gonna play around with it. So you can cock the hammer back. So we have a hammer fired weapon. There's a firing pin. Maybe because it is illegal, I'm gonna make a couple assumptions here. I'm gonna make an assumption that this flip up barrel is probably not the safest thing in the world for a novice. Also, there's no decock. So once you load this thing and you put one in the chamber, you're stuck in that little weird psychodrome of, hey, what do I do now? Put my thumb over the hammer and pull the trigger. Yeah, and that's kind of dicey if you're not really 100% confident with firearms, because if you pull that and that thing slips off, boom, you're gonna have a 22 sent somewhere that you're not intending to send it, and that's never a good situation. But getting back to the point, so you could see this thing's been beat. It's been beat. But this was one of those things where I always kept it in my pocket, and at the range I'd pop it out, pop, 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 fire the mag that I had in there. It always spit with no problem. Really neat looking weapon. You can tell it's old by just looking at that patina on the barrel and the metal. That's a real old looking patina. Yeah, read the manual before you use it, right? How many of us do that? I know I don't. So just giving you a look at the serial, look at the gun, look at the overall fit and finish. It has been beat up, but that's what I like to see. I like to see guns that people have used. There's a history behind this. Breaking this thing down is really funky, really funky. Kind of like, it's like breaking down a Sig Mosquito almost, but not quite. So what you do first is I'm gonna flip that barrel forward. I'm gonna push the slide back, and then I'm gonna kind of lift it a little bit. You cock the hammer. So yeah, another fun factoid. To try and push this thing back is a biot. So little trick is cock the hammer back, pull this out, and then you can literally pull. See that? I just pulled up on it, pulled up on the slide. Let me get that thing to come off there. Tip that all the way out. So once that barrel was tipped all the way out, that kind of allowed me to take it out easier. So now I've separated the slide. This has been like that since I owned it. See this little, I don't know what that is. It's like, the metal is pitted there. I'm not 100% sure on how that happened. Maybe it's shooting those stingers. Maybe they're a little hot for this thing. I'm not sure. All right, so once it's broken into pieces, to 2 pieces, it's real simple. Really neat little weapon, easy to clean. Everything's there. I mean, you're not going to need to clean it too much. Not, like I've said before, with these, not a range gun. Don't take this thing to the range with 500 brick of 22 LR from Walmart and think that you're going to have a good day. You will have a good day, but make some time, you know, pencil in some time to clean there, because you're going to have to stop and clean the weapon at some point during that day. And putting this thing back together, it's going to prove to be a little job. That's okay. That's what we like. So I'm going to line that up. Yep, no, I'm not. So this is what I'm looking at. Kind of looking at that situation there. And what I want to do is get the slide. So what you have to do, if you're taking these apart, you got to kind of dip it in a motion where I'm going to loop it right around that. So it's kind of a circular motion. If you look, see, I just looped it in. So a little, and a little, and then that's in, and then it gets even more funky. I'm not going to lie to you. See how that's offset? Watch. You just push it down, and it's going to click into place. When you get in the right spot, it just clicks in. So all I did was just use force and push it right down. And you put that together. Like always, we function test. Good. Trigger. It does have a safety. It does have a safety on it. Prevents the gun from cocking. So that's pretty decent for a small, old weapon like this to have a safety like that. That's pretty decent. So that is the Beretta Tomcat. I see these aftermarket grips that make it look real badass. I know my buddy Kev's running one of these. They're really cool. He puts it in his pocket. I'm telling you, I think the 22 cal is underrated. If you got a 22 cal CCI Stinger in that thing and you got 8 of them, that's party time. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna fold this one up so I can start making another one for you. Like I always say, keep your head low in the foxhole. And I thank you for all the love and support. And let me get busy and get back to work and make another video for you to watch.